Chelsea 2026 is only now something like a fortnight away, and we're standing in the Burncoose Nursery's show tunnel, which is looking absolutely superb, but a lot can happen in a fortnight, and all we can do today is give you a quick preview of one or two of the things which we hope will be the stars of our stand. And I'm standing by Burncoose Scarlet Fire, which is a brand new American hybrid, which is not quite as scarlet as it might be, and it's possible this plant will be too far out, but there's another plant right beside me which is nowhere near as far out and maybe just the ticket in a fortnight. And this is something that's never been shown before at Chelsea at this sort of size. Burncoose is a beautiful woodland garden plant. It's normally creamy or creamy white, and here we've got a real pink, and a stunning pink or scarlet. Hopefully it'll be scarlet by the time we get to Chelsea. We now go and have a quick look at another Burncoose, which should be spot on as well. And this is Burncoose Venus. The flowers, well, they're not really flowers, of course, they're flower bracts surrounding the central flower, are still looking green and a little bit creamy, but hopefully in a fortnight's time they will become pure white and be as stunning as we've sometimes had them at Chelsea before. And if you look behind me, we've got two other plants which are, this one's a little bit further forward in its flowers, but the one behind it is further back. So we hope that out of these three large stock plants, at least one of them will be spot on for the big event. But we've got quite a few other new things to look at, and let's just go pan around and go for a little walk through this enormous tunnel of attractive things. Now this is a Greer Sutherlandia. Most extraordinary flower, greenhouse plant, but something that probably Chelsea will never have seen. And although it's just coming into leaf, the flowers come out earlier, and we've got a lovely flower bud there in case that one's gone a bit too far, which it well may. And another key feature of our stand this year are going to be Calycanthus. And again, this is looking absolutely perfect for being full out in a fortnight. This is Calycanthus Venus, and there is one flower over here that's just come out. A gorgeous scent. We have had this before at Chelsea, but we've never had a stock plant as big as this, with this many buds coming to the fore. And another old favourite is, if I can just extract one here quite gently. Here's our old friend Spotty Dotty. We've got some wonderful plants with flowers that are not quite full out yet, but they soon will be. And these extraordinary leaves which carpet a border in a slightly shadier or damper place. And if we look around, the acers are always a key feature of our stand. There's Acer Yukigomo, which always has to be grown in full shade, otherwise it scorches in the sun. But the leaves will get a bit more pink in them by the time we get to Chelsea. They won't look quite as white as that, but the contrast with some of the darker leaved acers you can very clearly see there, and very attractive they are too. One of the most difficult things to get to Chelsea and to get in flower at Chelsea are these blue Himalayan poppies. In this case we've got some Meconopsis sleeve Donnard, and although some are in flower, there are a great many buds still coming, and I think it's looking pretty good for a Chelsea Spectacular with this wonderful blue poppy. Last year we just had one rather small, pathetic one on the stand, but this year we've got a great big batch over there and a lovely batch here with plenty of buds. But it's not the easiest thing to carry on a lorry without breaking off the flowers. But there we go, you've seen it here first. And this is something which we've never actually managed to get in flower for the Chelsea Flower Show before. This little group of plants here are all Metrasidrus. And this is Metrasidrus Maori Princess. And you can see that the flower buds are just about to break. And hopefully with a fine week, we'll have a very fine show of feather-like red flowers. Metrasidrus are New Zealand plants which need to be grown up against a wall in full heat, preferably in a frost-free environment. So some people, they would be something you would keep in the greenhouse. But in London, I think with the microclimates of central London, this would grow perfectly well in a London garden. And what a show of red flowers are about to come out. Fingers crossed that they actually make it in time. I think they probably will, but it's going to be touch and go. To fill the stand at Chelsea, we need lots and lots of herbaceous plants. And if you look around down through here, you'll see euphorbia and geums and viburnums and a nice lot of these lilies, which are woodland growing lilies, which look as though they might just about make it. And beside them a little Hackia in flower, another member of the Proteaceae. And below it some Westringia, a lavender-like plant with a similar use in the garden. But we need things of every shape and size to be able to produce the show we want to for Chelsea. Here we see a Stewartia rostrata. Will that make it into flower in time? I don't know. We always have to take a great many more things than we actually use because you never know what the temperature is going to be in the tent at the Chelsea Flower Show. But sadly, looking at this lovely Cratyagus Paul Scarlet, I fear it's gone just a little bit too far, and I don't think that'll be going on the lorry. But there we go. If you run a large show tunnel with such a variety of different plants, there are always going to be some things that make it and some that don't. This lovely little Dipelta floribunda, I don't think that'll last long enough to get to Chelsea either, but there we go. The 3 lorries will be loading next Monday, and it takes a whole week to put the stand up at Chelsea, so the judges will be looking to assess the Burncoose stand in precisely a fortnight on Monday, and by then we'll know whether Cornwall's been successful or not. But looking around in the show tunnel, I have to say that I've seldom seen a better crop of plants of so many different varieties looking quite good in a spring that looked to be very early. But at the moment I think we've had some cold and overcast weather and quite a bit of rain, and I think that's kept things back, and they're not as far forward as I feared they might be when I was standing here about 3 weeks ago. Those of you who get to Chelsea, we look forward to seeing you there. Those of you who can't, look out for us on the telly, and remember that you've seen a little preview here.